Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, leaving likes, leaving a comment, or subscribing, all of these things do help out the channel. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. It says, technical analysis, Bitcoin shows early signs of a fresh decline, but $40,000 is the key. Bitcoin and Ethereum keep trimming gains. OKB and Waves inch higher. And this one says Ethereum sports a bearish signal as the crypto market has shifted back into fear on the fear and greed index. This is totally, I want to say, as we've seen before, appropriate or logical to think that this was going to happen at the moment as the correlation continues. Stocks around the world have continued to decline. We have some days in the stock market news that it looks like things might go a little bit higher or move up from where they currently are. But then we get extra ridiculous news about the current situation and what's happening between these two places, and markets continue to drop. Why there is, once again, a direct correlation between the cryptocurrency market and the stock market, we may never know. However, at this point, I just assume it is a market that is being dragged around by the force of actual world events, as we were for over the course of a 2-year period under the spell, if you will, of Coco Chanel 19. And that's just kind of basically what it is. There were also a lot of news about inflation fears continuing to happen, as normally during events as the one that we see right before us, inflation tends to grip a number of companies and countries as they are, what do you call it? As supply chains ends up crumbling, because for some reason the entire world is completely interconnected. And if one place ends up failing or you can't get something from there, everything else also continues to decline as well. It says oil prices initially soared on Thursday as the situation sparked a run on commodities that raised fears of stagflation, while equity markets fell as investors gauged the impact of the Federal Reserve's plans to tighten the monetary policy. The Federal Reserve, I believe, had a meeting or something on television yesterday where they basically tell people either yay or nay. How's the market looking? What do we plan on doing with the interest rate, and if we're going to raise it, if we're going to lower it? A lot of people believe, now this also doesn't make a lot of sense, that the cryptocurrency market actually fell on news of a weakening dollar, or the expectations that the Federal Reserve would have to raise rates relatively soon because they see inflation as a major problem and they're trying to figure out a way to fix it. Once again, they're not raising the interest rate by 2.0 points or 3 or 4. We are not going to see a 7% interest rate. It is near zero right now, dash 0.25. That's the current U.S. interest rate, and they're thinking of raising it to either 0.25 dash 0.50. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell cautioned on Wednesday that the U.S. Central Bank will need to be nimble in response to shifting dynamics. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said on Wednesday that he was inclined to propose and support a 25-point basis rate hike as at the U.S. Central Bank's policy this month. That would be prepared to move more aggressively if inflation does not abate as fast as expected. That entire paragraph was very difficult for me to read for some reason. I also just woke up, so it kind of is what it is. So, yeah, currencies around the world continue to fall. The current situation that we have going on continues to get worse and worse. Stock markets are falling. Other markets are also falling. The cryptocurrency market just seems to be in the throes, in the grip what other world markets are currently doing. I did see a number of cryptocurrency websites, and I do heavily cringe when I see these. Not these on the screen, but because I couldn't look at them again. We were talking about the reasons why Bitcoin was falling, was because Shiba Inu looked like it was doing really well, and there was something along the lines of like Ethereum's falling because Solana has more users, and I'm like, you people have no idea what's actually happening in the world around you. Anyway, that's the price news. Not an enormous amount because it's basically prices are going down around the world, and therefore it seems like the cryptocurrency market is doing the exact same. Why Bitcoin continues to fall or would fall on news of a worsening US dollar and or worsening US inflation or worldwide inflation and the collapse of the US dollar, still can't figure it out. It should logically be the exact opposite, as we know that Bitcoin's amount or supply is finite, but alas, just kind of is what it is. Anyway, that's all the price news, at least that we have at the moment. I believe it is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. As we go into the weekend, I expect nothing magical. I expect prices will drop. Usually, if we see a Thursday or Friday drop in prices, the weekend tends to be exactly the same. And then Monday usually ends up being that, you know, will prices recover kind of situation. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in popular news, Stephen Cooper, who is the CEO of the cryptocurrency entertainment firm known as Bigger Entertainment, has clarified in a tweet that the company is looking to support the community of the meme-inspired cryptocurrency Shiba Inu in burning 10% of its supply. You're going to have to do a lot more than that if you want the price to move. In a tweet, Cooper noted that before the start of the next SHIB burn party, events meant to help raise funds to burn tokens and effectively remove them from circulation, he wanted to make it clear that the events aren't to pump the crypto, but rather to reduce its supply. He also has to say this because the SEC is breathing down everyone's back, and you cannot ever, regardless of what your intentions are, explicitly say, hey, we got to burn as many of these as possible to raise the price, because that then makes it seem as if a major institution who is part of it looks like that the coin itself is then also potentially maybe a security, because, you know, the SEC is frothing at the mouth for any type of implication or indication that they can definitely control another coin. Cooper added that even as the supply of SHIB drops, its price may not change at all, but added that as a community, the SHIB army is looking to reduce the meme-inspired cryptocurrency supply and hoping the developer team follows suit by focusing on 20% or more. First of all, backing it up, just, you know, honesty here, as always. If the developer team announces at any point that they are actually part of the actual coin burn, the SEC is going to jump down their back. It's not, if you have ever been in the stock market and you've seen a stock buyback, or you've seen any other type of, I mean, if a company ever announced, hey, we're going to be not only buying back some of our supply of stock that we have out there, but also trying to burn 20% of it. This isn't because the company is like, you know what, we should have less stock out there. No, they're trying to explicitly raise the price of the thing that they're actually holding. So I assume that this is probably why the developer team has not come forward, because then they would also be in trouble by the SEC, and that's probably the last thing that they want. Here's a tweet for it right here. It's very popular. This news has been floating around. A lot of people are very excited about any type of extra coin burn for Shiba Inu because they want the price to be raised. Once again, nobody is going to sit here and lie, regardless of what this man must say, especially when talking about something that he does not own or does not control, as he is not I assume he's not the creator of Shiba Inu. This is going to be a very long saga. This is a discussion that's also been happening within the Dogecoin community. How do we reduce the supply? How do we stop the inflation from being so fast? How do we do all these other things? A lot of these people, I mean, I get it. I understand just being in a coin exclusively for money, but a 1 quadrillion coin supply is really intense. And once again, as we were discussing a couple days ago about Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and for Cardano, nobody ever wants to burn their coins. It's always they want other people to burn their coins. This is probably why they want the developer team, who I assume has a large chunk of the coins. They want them to burn their coins so that everyone else's coin supply goes higher. And that's not how any of this actually works. Anyway, that's the doggy coin news for the day, because it's always constantly always there in the news. Yeah. Let's move on. In one of the largest news stories of the day, US-based NFT marketplace OpenSea has reportedly begun banning Iranian users from its platform, sparking outrage from NFT collectors and raising fresh debate about decentralization in the cryptocurrency space. When I first got into crypto, thousands of years ago, one of the things that we were told to learn about, because it's very important, is the idea of decentralization. A lot of people have no idea what decentralization means. When you hear that there is a central bank, that is because they are centralized. They have one single point of failure. When you hear the idea of decentralization, it tends to people go, well, this is fine. This is great. I can't believe that we are in such a wonderful time. There's no way that my funds can be frozen or taken away from me because everything is decentralized. The idea of OpenSea and many other NFT platforms is that they are running on or trying to engage with or build upon the Web 3. That is to say, the new web that we are currently entering, where everything is decentralized. You can do whatever you want and things are well open and everyone's super happy all the time. But people forget that these companies are companies. They have an office. They are centralized. I saw so many people saying that they didn't understand how OpenSea was able to do this, forgetting that they are a company. There are people behind the scenes who work at the company who are coding the website. Have you ever been on OpenSea before and it's like, hey, we'll be back in about a good hour or two because we have some upgrades going on? Did you think that the website was upgrading itself? This happened years ago on Coinbase. Tons of people had their accounts frozen, or whatever the case was. They were asking for KYC and AML on the platform. People were like, Bitcoin's decentralized. I don't have to do that. I can still move my Bitcoin around. They tried to enter the website. They couldn't. They tried to access their funds. They couldn't. They had to call customer service. Why? Because Coinbase is a company. They are centralized. The idea being to end this point, because I really need, and I'm not saying it's any of you. I promise I'm not. But it's more of a, everyone else out there, please open your minds, because I didn't understand and still don't how people cannot, I'm trying to use the nicest words possible, how people don't understand how life works. You know how we always talk about why Bitcoin is coin number one, and I always tell you the moment you make peace with the fact that Bitcoin is the market, you're going to feel a lot better. I say this because Bitcoin is the true only decentralized coin. Who is the leader of Bitcoin? And don't say Satoshi Nakamoto, because we haven't heard from or seen from him, her, and or them in a very long time. Who runs Ethereum? Vitalik immediately popped into your head. Who's the figurehead of Cardano? A name also popped into your head. XRP? Yep, a name also popped into your head as well. There is no figurehead of Bitcoin. There isn't someone who announces something is going to happen to Bitcoin and then Bitcoin's price moves. When we talk about Bitcoin's core, the main chain, the first chain that actually is Bitcoin, it is immutable. What does immutable mean? It cannot be muted. You can use it anytime that you want. However, if you take your Bitcoin and put it onto a centralized exchange, well, buddy boy, they have the right as the company to say what you can and cannot do with your funds at that time. Remember when I said before, at least 15 times, if you are legally able to in your country, you should maybe think about holding and storing your own coins. We've talked about using a ledger before, or we've even talked about just having a downloaded thing on your computer. Why? This wallet will allow you to be able to use your funds at any time that you choose to do so, because you are on Bitcoin's chain. This news, this was one of the more, I wouldn't say popular. It was definitely an everywhere news kind of thing, because people don't understand the difference between centralization and decentralization. They hear that the cryptocurrency space is decentralized, and one of the really big pivotal points that happened a couple of years ago that so many people forgot and did not even want to think about is that a lot of cryptocurrency companies, these new players in the game who kept on coming out and saying, well, we're also decentralized, but they weren't because they are a company, and a lot of them have failed. However, a lot of them are still out there, as they began to announce, because people began to count the amount of nodes for Bitcoin. We saw that there were thousands of nodes around the world, people who themselves had plugged into the network to allow it to actually be more decentralized. There was no single point of failure. A lot of companies began to announce, hey, we also have nodes as well. We have a node in Argentina, we have a node in New York, and we have a node somewhere else, not realizing that these nodes were actually the company offices that they had, so they controlled all the nodes and therefore also controlled all the transactions. It's not that difficult to really do your own research. And I know many of you have, especially if you've been here for years. You've heard me repeat this over and over and over. I'm not saying this because I'm like, well, they need to do their own research. No, you need to understand what it means to have control over your own money, to be able to hold it yourself, to be able to transact in value at any time of day when you want to. The moment you begin trusting a company with your money, you know how when you go into certain websites and they ask you to read their not their FAQs, but like read about the website before you click OK. 99% of people don't actually read. And then they get surprised when companies are able to hold their funds, or other world events happen and they simply don't have access to their money. I just had to say all of that because I'm so tired of the stupidity. I really, really am. Like it's every single day. And I get if there are new people into the market who may not have had the chance yet to really experience an event like this over the course of the last 3 months. But if you've been here for longer than 6 months, there are no excuses. These are companies, the same as other companies. Many of them act as almost de facto banks because they're holding so much money. If at any point if you get large enough, I think OpenSea just had a $200 million fundraising round. The moment you get so large that you start going on the radar of the SEC, the CFTC, or the GOV, T, they can tell you what to start to do with the money as well. That's just how it works. And the only way forward is to use actual decentralized platforms. I'm not telling you not to use OpenSea because I myself also use OpenSea. I think they're a great platform. I think it's very easy to use, and I think they have very low fees. However, I don't go there under the premise of, well, they can't stop anything. They're decentralized. They're using Web3. These are companies, and we will continue to have many companies in the cryptocurrency space. On Thursday morning, Iranian OpenSea users started posting on Twitter that their accounts were being deactivated or deleted without prior warning. An NFT artist, Bornorsor, vented frustration to their 7,400 followers in a tweet that quickly gained traction, garnering 342 retweets and over 1,000 likes within a few hours. And here's the tweet right here. OpenSea, a spokesperson from OpenSea said, "Our terms of service explicitly prohibit sanctioned users or users in sanctioned territories from using our services. We have a zero tolerance policy for the use of our services by sanctioned individuals or entities and people located in sanctioned countries. If we find individuals to be in violation of our sanctions policy, we take swift action to ban the associated accounts." Because of the current situation that is going on in the news that you should all be paying attention to, because it has to do with your money, the US and many other countries have announced sanctions. And these sanctions fall upon the shoulders of the people who are causing said problem. It should mainly be the leaders in this instance and not the actual public. On top of that, these sanctions are being expanded to other places and countries and leaders who are assumed to also have I do not know, have a hand in this problem. Part of the issue with sanctions is that it does not just affect the people who it should be affecting. It is a blanket over the entire country. These are companies. They are told what to do can you imagine? No, you probably can't. If OpenSea had said no to the US government, there was news a couple of days ago that the US SEC is already beginning to look into the NFT space for all these other companies who are getting into it. And a lot of these tokens are clearly securities, because you buy the token, you have this, something else comes after that, and they're made by these mega companies. So get ready for that as well. Like I said, this was all over the place news. A lot of people have begun to put into question how exactly decentralized a lot of these things are. A lot of people were also told that MetaMask is apparently also decentralized. MetaMask does not update itself. This is not self-replicating, self-updating AI. These are custodial wallets where you can swap and move around and use your coin and attach it to other websites so that you have an ease of access of moving around funds. These are all companies. I cannot make that any clearer. Understand that there is not a large degree of separation from the traditional financial world and the cryptocurrency space. There's not a massive, difference between them. This is why, once again, this is why Bitcoin is so important, because no other coin can match up to Bitcoin's decentralization, because there is no central figurehead. You can use Bitcoin whenever you want. Same with many other altcoins. I get that part. Understand that. But if at any point we see the leaders of Solana, Polkadot, Ethereum being questioned by the SEC, the price is going to go down. Have you ever noticed before, whenever there's like an upgrade or update to Ethereum, it's usually one person who's announcing that this stuff is going to happen. And even before in the past, we've had chain splits, and you were all explicitly told, hey, use that one chain. That is a level of centralization, because the other chain survived but still ended up withering away. Do research. It's not that difficult. You have to know where your money is. Stop putting your money. There have been so many instances. I'm seeing a massive uptick in the amount of people online who are announcing that they got into a new coin or a new project or a new something, and then there was a rug pull, and they go, how could that have happened? This was decentralized. Anyway, that's the decentralization news. And yeah, let's move on. Now, here we go. Next up in This Is Not Decentralization, the Dogecoin Foundation has announced on Twitter on Wednesday that it had registered Doge and Dogecoin and its associated logos as trademarks within the European Union. The certification display in the tweet was dated on the 13th of January of this year. The entire original idea of Dogecoin was a meme coin, a fun coin. Anyone could use it all the time. You could make jokes about Dogecoin. You can make jokes about the jokes about Dogecoin. When you trademark something, it means it has a company behind it. The true level of decentralization begins to currently fade away. A lot of you might not remember, about 2, 3 or something or odd, definitely over 3 years ago, Banksy had a problem where he was trying to trademark his work. Totally fine. It's his work. If you look at what Banksy said many years ago, he said trademarks are for losers. No one should have a trademark because it shows that you are only about the money, you are only about the company, you are only about so-and-so. And then he realized when other people were using his art all around the world because Banksy said trademarks are for losers, guess what? Banksy wanted a trademark because Banksy is a human being and he knows that he should be making millions of dollars from his work and not other people. People also forget that Banksy is like almost 60 years old. He wants his money for the things that he made. But once again, it's a trademark. Foundation Executive Board member Jens Weischer said in a tweet thread that the issue isn't and has never been use in memes, I'm sure, but attempts by people completely unaffiliated with Dogecoin to register them, I'm sure, because many people are also registering their memes all the time on Instagram. Which only then really makes sense if they want to then extort either the community or the Dogecoin project, devs, foundation, etc. I assume this directly has to do with Elon Musk. That is my assumption, me alone assuming that. I feel like behind the scenes, they're trying to validate Dogecoin in some sort of way to actually make it used and all these other things. And I think the only way that a lot of other companies would even think of doing so is if you have these trademarks actually going on. I think it's funny what money can do to people, to companies, to organizations, and also to projects. If you had seen Dogecoin first launch in 2013 and even hang around in 14, 15, 16, 2017, and 18, it was a joke. It was simply just a meme that people were using. So the idea of trying to make Dogecoin into this like worldwide trademark, because I assume they've also, if they applied for this one on the 13th of January, I assume they've done so in the US and many other countries around the world as well. Not that I have a problem with it, but just be completely real about it. We can all understand that this is simply just about the money at this point. Dogecoin is no longer a meme. And I think it was only a matter of time before people realized that they could make huge amounts of money with Dogecoin and had to start protecting its brand. And here we currently are right now. And this is, and one of the main things that I've never, how do you say this? From the get-go, Shiba Inu was never really a meme coin, because the moment they launched, they announced that they were going to be doing the exact same thing that Doge is doing. Not so much the trademarks, but making sure that the brand was actually a complete brand and it simply wasn't a meme coin that was kind of sitting on the side. So at least they were honest about it. This is why I was like, the moment they started making their own exchanges, decentralized exchanges, their own metaverse and stuff like that, they knew it was a brand. So expect, I can feel it by the end of this year. It's either going to be something along the lines of Tesla's going to start exclusively accepting Dogecoin, because I have a feeling Elon Musk has a huge amount of Dogecoin. It wouldn't make a lot of sense that he's so into it without having a huge portion of it, and he wasn't able to make billions from the actual acquisition of it. Or we're going to hear something along the lines of like a Dogecoin metaverse website, something similar to like Coinbase. I can just feel it. Anyway, that's the Dogecoin news. It's a little sad. This should have just remained a joke, and it should have had backing by the actual community. But maybe it'll do even better now because it has trademarks and stuff like that. And if other people use those trademarks, they're going to get sued. And that's how you decentralize stuff. Let's move on. In the most popular news story of the day, residents of Lugano, the biggest city in Switzerland's Ticino canton, will soon be able to buy houses, cars, and even pay taxes with Bitcoin, Tether, and Lugano's own LVGA token after El Salvador's controversial Bitcoin experiment. More countries around the world are pushing to adopt the #1 cryptocurrency this year. Speaking during a Thursday live event dubbed Lugano's Plan B, officials from the Swiss city and Tether, because I think Tether is located in Switzerland, so you know, announced the de facto Bitcoin legalization. This means that businesses and companies in the region will be allowed to pay for goods, services, and taxes in Bitcoin, Tether, and LVGA in the near future. However, the Swiss franc will remain the real legal tender in Lugano. Wonderful. I hope it works out for them. I once again have a slight problem with them creating the LVGA token, simply because this is like the Miami coin. Remember the coin that Miami created because they thought that people were going to be using it. I think there was also a Dubai coin around 2016 to 2017 that no one ended up using. What was the other one? I think there's also like a New York coin. Is there like a Philadelphia coin? And I'm sure there's other coins for other cities and regions as well. None of these things are going to take off. If you are adopting Bitcoin and Tether, I would even say Bitcoin definitely has a more of a higher chance of, you know, being adopted, but Tether would also definitely be adopted a lot quicker than any other new local digital currency that's going to be there as well. I do not assume that this is one of the places that the president of El Salvador announced at the beginning of the year we're going to be adopting Bitcoin as legal tender. I really do, and I can only imagine at this point. I think we would see spectacularly wonderful Bitcoin prices right now if a certain area in the world got it together. That's a nice way of saying it. Anyway, that's another side thing. Oh, also, as far as like Bitcoin news and adoption, I think a lot of people are holding back a lot of news. A lot of the news right now is very sparse, weird in comparison to other weeks, because I think a lot of coins and projects are holding back any type of news that they have of an upgrade or an update. because it'll simply be absorbed by the negativity of the market and their coin's price won't actually go anywhere. So that's the Lugano news. It says bar events, taxes, payments, mining, education, investment, startup hub. Fantastic. I hope it works out for Lugano and that they make all the money in the world. I still have no idea what LVGA even stands for, especially when it comes to Lugano. Is it like Lugano Very Great Association? I don't know what that stands for. All right, that's the Lugano news. Wonderful. Is that what it looks like? I hope that's actually what it looks like, because if that's a fake photo, this looks like... No, never mind. I was going to say it looks like Budapest, because Budapest also has one of these like things. But no, Budapest doesn't have like a gigantic, beautiful lake in the middle. Anyway, that's the Lugano news. And yeah, let's move on. Wait, oh gosh, I forgot it again. Hold on. Wait. Okay, thank you for waiting. Very kind of you. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, GBU Wally, formerly known as Professor Wally, Darren Davis, How's Life Austin, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and Let's Move On, Chris Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fud, Wiser, Mortified, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay. Where am I? Oh gosh. Wait. Dealer's Den, Not Brain, Z-Way Lay, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos was like, Mobarazzi, Jojo, Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Biddy, Barebones Mining. I love how I lost my place. Troy, all good. Space Case, Need a Miracle, Patra, Noster, Conan, Don't Skip, Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik, Banana, Auspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin, Storio, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Gracing, Moha Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Man, Gialavori, Jim Garner, Jimmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Joiner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, All Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who's still here right now. If you are still here watching this video, do me a favor and type in Bodie McBoatface in the comment section, because it's Bodie McBoatface. Wasn't there something else? There was another, oh gosh. Didn't the UK also do something else where it was like, called like Shippy McShipface? Something else really weird along that line as well, and I just find these things absolutely hilarious. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $41,630. Here's the drops right here. Completely evident. It's down by 5%. I assume we won't see any significant movement higher until the current situation is over with, until we get proper news that the Fed rate hike has happened. I don't know why that's such a major thing for people, as if inflation still isn't going to be abundantly higher than it's been in the last 40 years. How could anyone confuse any part of that? It just doesn't, I don't really get it. And even the actual rate hike, like we're not going up to a 5% rate hike, but alas, it just is what it is. I don't know if any coins have actually bucked the trend, if you will. Cosmos is up by 7%. Very nice for them. Near Protocol is up by 1.4. OKB is up by 6%. Still, you know, drifting trading volume. A lot of these coins have very weak trading volumes. I'm surprised that they're still in the top 1,000. Anything else? Frax. A new coin called Frax. Up by... Is this a stable coin? I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this wacky, weird planet. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting. Please look up what decentralization actually means. Please make sure that your money is in a safe and secure place. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.